I told y'all I had my homeboy coming, man. One of the original hot boy Omar. Be jizzle in the building, man. New Orleans stunner, you know what I'm saying? What's happening with you, boy?
Oh, man, you already know, man. I'm just holding it down like a real G's supposed to.
Since the start of hip-hop, Atlanta has been a major bridge to southern notoriety. Artists come to Atlanta to either break their albums or further push what they already have. And most artists knows that if you can surface through Atlanta's music market, then you're pretty much ready for the industry, which flooded the city in the mid-1980s with out-of-state residents who were in search of superstardom. Even with the overflow of arriving talent, Atlanta local rappers made their presence felt. Kilo Ali, Raheem the Dream, MC Breed, the Dungeon Family, and lots more were all ATL homegrown and represented the A in every opportunity. Then in 1999, a pastor came onto the rap scene and brewed a massive congregation within all of Georgia and surrounding states. Mekhi LeVar Troy, better known to the world as Pastor Troy, started his rap career in the late 1990s as a frontman for a group called Down South Georgia Boys, or DSGB. Led by Pastor Troy, they started a movement that gave a sense of pride to all of Georgia natives. His debut album titled We Ready, I Declare War was released in 1999 and became an instant classic over all of Georgia. The first single from the album, titled No More Playin' GA, became Georgia's anthem, a soundtrack for all Atlanta natives only. But the song was so hot everybody loved and embraced it, even the settlers. Pastor Troy was about to see fame on a much bigger level, but the success he had gained with his album was built on going after the neck of hip-hop's general, Master P. He had surfaced through Atlanta's music market and was ready for the majors, but he picked a fight with a giant and lost.
It wasn't nothing like, fuck Master P, I want to hurt him, I want to kill him and everything, but everybody got to push the bar, man. That's what real rap was raised on, man. Come on.
Pastor Troy understood the concept of how to grow quickly and gain a high level of success in hip-hop by destroying all competition. So he went after the biggest fish and his confidence through the roof. He released the single and all of Georgia went crazy. High energy, a wartime track, and sing-along chants that'll give the chills to any competition. The entire state was highly receptive to the song. It went so hard it was still being demanded by many other states. Pastor Troy had a winner with his movement. In the early 2000s, Birthday Bash in Atlanta, Georgia, where lots of industry giants and several local acts come together and throw an annual mega concert with 50,000 fans in attendance. Master P and No Limit Records was one of the main acts that year and knew about Pastor Troy and his song prior to the concert. With the power of a young Joe Jackson, P pulled some strings and had Pastor Troy ejected from the show, and No Limit Records filled his concert spot.
Nah, man, I wasn't there because they had me took off the show. They replaced me with P.
But it was too late. P hit the stage and had a hard time performing his set. Due to 50,000 plus people in the stadium screaming, "We ready," a chant from Pastor Troy's No More Playin' GA.
Goody Mob, though, brought me out on that show.
Let's go! Let go! Let go! Let go! Let go!
Through homegrown love from Goody Mob, Pastor Troy still performed that night. And like never before, someone had gotten the attention of No Limit CEO. Pastor Troy had won the fight, but he was losing the war. If P could close a window on your show in minutes, imagine what he could do to your career in days. Pastor Troy had started independently, and even with a hit album, he would remain independent until 2002 when he dropped Universal Soldier, his sixth solo album but his first on a major label. His industry setback had nothing to do with his talent, and he proved it over and over by delivering consistent hit singles and albums. He featured on several industry hit songs, including Get Off Me with Ludacris, Throw It Up with Lil Jon, and in 2001 he shocked the world with his underground classic, Southern Street Anthem, Vice Versa.
I have no fear, I done witnessed too much hell right here.
Although Pastor Troy lost that particular war, fortunately he's won many others. Several artists that went after the big fish made diss tracks that were hit songs, but it was those same hit songs that ended their own careers. Atlanta, the ATL, was founded in 1837 and was built and populated on hustling and entrepreneurship. Over time, it became a college town, housing 8+ major colleges including Morehouse, Morris Brown, and Spelman.
Everybody know Atlanta's like a highly black populated, educated city. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is when you come get your education.
Atlanta's college life gave birth to the infamous Freaknik, an event that drew college students from around the world. The ATL is deeply rooted in hip-hop, and with the transition from the East Coast to the South, the ATL became the hub of it all.
It's like we got a demo tape and don't nobody want to hear it, but it's like this, the South got something to say. That's all I got to say.
Although many professional and inspiring artists moved there, Atlanta natives had their own sound and their own stories to tell. Some of Atlanta's first rappers were Kilo Ali, MC Shadi, Hard Boys, Success and Effect, and so on. Then later you had the Dungeon Family, Pastor Troy, Ludacris, Jermaine Dupri, T.I., and so on. But there's two in particular artists that shared the same lifestyle, the same background, and ultimately the same savage way of thinking. Young Jeezy and Gucci Mane are both Atlanta-born natives who were born and raised in the ghetto and both sold street pharmaceuticals as a way of survival. With the rise of self-owned record labels, both gentlemen became legal businessmen with two of the strongest sounds pumping out of the ATL. Once comrades turned enemies with a passionate dislike for one another, they both took a stance of war and started attacking. In 2005, the world was introduced to "Yeah," the catchy ad-lib from Young Jeezy that you couldn't help but chant, and he made millions with it. That same year, he joined Puffy's Bad Boy label as a member of Boys in the Hood, a 5-member Southern-based rap group that he left shortly after their first release. Corporate Thugs Entertainment became the label, and Young Jeezy became the reason.
If you've been fucking with Jeezy since the beginning, put your motherfucking hands up!
2005, the same year Jeezy got his start, another Atlanta native had surfaced, and the streets was listening. An album titled Trap House, to represent the new movement, trap music, was tailored by the trap star, Gucci Mane.
That Trap House, man. Alright. Trap House in stores now, man.
With this self-owned label, titled 1017 Records, Gucci Mane had established himself as a powerful mouthpiece amongst the ghetto communities across America. Young Jeezy and Gucci Mane had an understanding and a strong respect for one another, and both decided to collaborate. In April 13, 2005, the hit single titled So Icy, which featured both Young Jeezy and Gucci Mane, was the fire that lit the stem to the destruction of their camaraderie.
I'm with the Gucci Mane.
So Icy charted number 5 on Hot 100 singles and charted in the top 25 on other billboards. The single did great, but there was a thorn in the side of the situation. They both claimed ownership to the song and was mad at each other for doing so. They were both still heavy in the streets, but Gucci Mane was still in the process of establishing himself amongst the industry giants, and Young Jeezy was already a boss. We talking industry and in the streets. Young Jeezy easily tipped the scales due to his enormous street following of goons and his fans who were willing to do things for him. When beefing with a giant, it never comes in a form you expect. Then it happened. May 10, 2005, just days before the release of his debut album, Trap House, the 25-year-old Gucci Mane was arrested for murder.
He's a murder suspect, and I'm his lawyer, and I'm not going to say anything.
Gucci Mane survived what seemed to be a robbery attempt, a 5-man goon attack, and he made it out untouched, and even managed to kill one on the way out. Gucci was arrested and charged for murder, and had no doubts in his mind he was set up, and who was behind it all.
And this fuck nigga, the only nigga has motive. Jeezy. Yeah.
In January 2006, the murder charge against Gucci Mane was dropped due to insufficient evidence. With all his legal issues and maintaining a business left him little time to carry on the full-time beef. He was released on May 12, 2010, but arrested again just 6 months later for driving violations, where he was ordered to a psychiatric hospital. He was arrested twice in April 2011, once for battery and another for aggravated assault. He did 6 months for the battery and was released on December 11, 2011. The arrest continued until he was convicted of possession with a firearm by a convicted felon, which he did 2 years in prison for. He was released in 2016.
There's a lot of people spending money. There's a lot of money here. Where there's money, there's goons too.
9 Psycho, Zone 1 represent, Hollywood Road. Yeah.
Boy, Bankhead, man, for real.
Bankhead. We on Bankhead, let's get it.
I'm from East Point, Georgia.
East Point represent. Always you got them thugs on the run.
Yeah, man, we in Zone 4 all day. No, it's self-explanatory. You see what you see.
Flatland, Adamsville, you know how it is.
We were hard right here in the Ville, dog.
Cannonville Zone 3, up here with these real G's.
We have to let them know directly where we from. We coming up out of that Clayco area, man. You know what I'm saying? Nothing but that head bust and shit.
You had 3. You had Techwood, East Lake Meadow, and Perry Home.
So when I look at a brother like Curtis Snow, I look at him and see a real live Omar.
Curtis Snow is an actor and street legend, born in Atlanta, Georgia, and raised in the notorious ghetto called The Bluffs, which is located in the English Avenue and Vine City neighborhoods. The Bluffs is most recognized for its high crime rate and drug traffic, mostly heroin.
The Bluff, what experts call the heroin capital of the South.
Between 2002 and 2007, the Bluffs ranked high as 5th for the most dangerous neighborhoods in the United States.